So welcome guys, this is the lecture 2 of Introduction to Error and Error Propagation. In this video we are going to learn about error propagation, what are the rules, how to calculate the error, using different formulas. In the previous video we learned what are the different kind of error, how to get them. So in this video we assume that you have a measurement, you know what is the error. Now from those measurement you want to calculate some other quantities, like you have the measurement, you have measure some distance of a particle which is moving with a certain velocity. You also measure the time to travel that distance what the particle take. Now you want to calculate the velocity. You also know what are the uncertainties in your measurement, what are the uncertainties in your distance as well as in your time. Now you want to calculate the velocity, what is in your calculated velocity. So this thing we call error propagation, like error propagate here, like both the quantities you have measured, both of them had error, or maybe if one of them have a error, if you use that quantity to calculate some other quantity, error will propagate. Now first discuss about rules in case of independent error. Independent means like measurement have different and uncorrelated sources. Like if you compare between length measurement and mass measurement, these two errors are independent. Like when you are going to calculate momentum, for measure mass and measure velocity, you have to consider these two measurement have an independent error. So in case of a independent error add in quadrature. So you have to add error in quadrature form. Let us see. So first problem we will see adding or subtracting. When we are adding two quantities, like say we are adding to momentum, we are subtracting to distance. So how to calculate error in the calculated quantity. So here rule is that add absolute error in quadrature. So we have to add absolute error in quadrature, and let us see an example. First we have two momentum, like P1 is 2.36 plus or minus 0.04 kg meter per second, and another momentum is 2.44 plus or minus 0.05 kg meter per second. We have to add these two momentum, P1 and P2. So P total will be 4.8. Now error in our P total will be like absolute error of P1 the whole square plus absolute error of P2 the whole square, then we have to take square root. So here absolute error, in case of P1 it is 0.04, in case of P2 it is 0.05. They are, here we assume they are independent, they are coming from an uncorrelated source. So this will be the formula. So we have to take the square of absolute error, then add them, and then we have to take a square root to get the error. So now if we always have to represent error in single significant digit. So we are neglecting all the term next to that 9. Now came to next example. It is where we are subtracting two quantities. Like we have a door of height h. We measured is 2.0 plus or minus 0.3 meter. Using a meter scale, we also measure the height of the door knob from the bottom of the door. We are calling it h. And we use a different scale. to measure it, it is coming out 0.88 plus or minus 0.04 meter. Now question is, what will be the distance of door knob from the top of the door, from this side. So here to get the distance we have to subtract the total height and the height of the door knob from the bottom. So it is coming out to be 1.12 meter. Now let us calculate the error. So here delta H is 0.03, delta small h, error in small h is 0.04 meter. So error in h will be 0.05. So we can write here the measurement values as 1.12 plus or minus 0.05. So we can let us write it in general form. So in general, Q is some quantity which is some combination of sums and difference, like it, which is some combination of sum of A plus B plus C, etc. Also difference of X, Y and Z, etc. Then in general we can write error in Q will be sum of square of all the sum of square of all the absolute error, like error in A square plus error in B square plus error in C square and so on. So here error will add whatever the thing, if we add those quantity or subtracted those quantity, error always add. Now came to multiplication or division. In case of multiplication or division, a rule is add fractional error or relative error in quadrature. So we have to calculate here fractional error. So in case of addition and subtraction, we deal with relative error, absolute error. Here we have to deal with relative error. So in case of multiplication and division, we have to add fractional or relative error in quadrature. Let us see an example, then we will get it easily. So this is our measure mass of a particle, and this is our measure measure velocity of a particle. So error is given here. Mass is 13.48 plus or minus 0.05. Velocity is 6.52 plus or minus 0.01 meter. Now we want to calculate momentum. So momentum is coming out to be m into v, it is coming 87.89 kg meter per second. Now relative error in momentum will be relative error of mass square plus relative error of velocity square. Then we have to add them and then take the root, square root. So as we earlier said, the add fractional or relative error in quadrature. So we are adding relative error in quadrature and then taking the root. So fractional error, relative error in momentum will be given by this form. Now absolute error will be delta P will be relative error into P. Now where relative error is coming out to be 0.0609. This is the relative error of momentum. We are multiplying it the value of momentum. It is coming out to be 5.35. Now as we said earlier, we have to represent error in single significant digit. So we are considering as 5 and we are writing 87.89 as 88. So our measured value of momentum will be 88 plus or minus 5 kg per meter second. So this is the value. That's how we have to write our momentum. Now came to in case of division, what will happen? The formula will be same. We have to add relative error in quadrature. So in case of particle, this is a measured distance with error 120 plus or minus 3 meter. This is the time taken by the particle to travel this distance. So time measured is 20.20 plus or minus 1.2 seconds. Now velocity will be d by t, it is coming out to be 6 meter per second. Now we have to calculate the error in velocity. The relative error of velocity will be given by relative error of distance square plus relative error of time square, then we have to take square root. So it is coming out to be 0.065. Now absolute error of the velocity, we have to multiply the relative error with value of the velocity. It is coming out to be 0.39. Now represented by a single significant digit, it will be 0.4. So our measured value of velocity will be, calculated value of velocity will be 6 plus or minus 0.4 meter per second. So in general, if q is a quantity which consists of product of a dot b dot c etc., and also consists of division of these quantities x, y, z, in general we can write the absolute error of this quantity q will be relative error of this quantity q will be relative error square of a plus relative error square b, and so on. We have to add them and then take a square root. Now came to rising to a power. So this formula going to, so sometime we have to represent a quantity by power of other quantities, like so volume of a sphere, it is given by 4 by 3 pi r cube. So volume is depend on the r to the power 3. So when we measure r, so r have a error, say r is for a sphere, say radius is given by 1 plus or minus 0.01 cm. So what will be the error in case of measure calculated volume? So also in case of kinetic energy, it is half mv square. So in case of this kind of a quantity where we have to represent a physical quantity by power of other quantity, the relative error in the calculated quantity, relative error in q will be modulus of n into relative error of our measured quantity. So in case of a volume of a sphere, it will become like 3 into delta r by r. So this will be our relative error of our volume. So this n can be like -1, -2, anything, some negative value, some positive value, some even 0.5, that means whole to the power half. So n have to be an exact number. So in short, for memorization, we can write it like fractional error gets multiplied by modulus of n. Let us see one example of this. Like we measured a time period of some oscillation. Time period is coming out to be 0.2 plus or minus 0.01 second. Sorry, I missed the second. Now our frequency of oscillation will be 1 by t. It is coming out 1 by 0.2 is coming out to be 5 hertz. Now error in our measurement, error in our frequency will be relative error in our frequency will be modulus of 1 into relative error of timing, measured time 0.01 by 0.2, it is coming out to be 0.05. So our absolute error in frequency is relative error into the value of frequency, it is coming out to be 0.25 hertz. So we can write our frequency as 5 plus or minus 0.3 hertz. So let us came to write down a most general formula from where we actually get all the addition, subtraction, division, multiplication formula. So consider in general q is a function of x, y, maybe a function, we can take a function of x, y, z. So then we can write, so we are not going to any derivation of this formula. From this formula we can easily derive all the previous formula we discussed. You can try it very easy. Like you can take q is equal to x plus y and do it. Q is equal to x and y, do it. Q is equal to x to the power n, then do it. So that our absolute error in our measurement delta q will be root over of delta x into partial derivative of this function with respect to a, then square of it, plus absolute error of y into partial derivative of the function with respect to y, then we have to take the whole square. Here in case of, as I already said, in case of independent error add in quadrature, then we have to take square root. So I am not giving any example of this formula. Let's see some other example. Like if formula become little complicated for the calculation of error, then we need this most general formula. Otherwise, for the simple case, we can just use the combination of sum, combination of addition, combination of multiplication, subtraction formula. Multiplication division formula. So let us see some another example. So this is the formula for a time period of oscillation of a pendulum. So we measure the length of the wire or thread of the pendulum. We also measure the time period. So this is the uncertainty we measured also. Now we want to calculate the value of acceleration due to gravity at the place where we perform the experiment. So from this formula we can easily write our g will be 4 pi square L by t square. Now question is, what will be the error in our measurement? So our calculated g is, if we put all the values of L and t in this formula, our g is coming out to be 979 centimeter per second square, because all the value this is given in semi. Now here I can use this most general formula. Let us not go to this complicated formula. Let us try to do it in a simple manner. So consider L by t square as some quantity L by z. So this is now become a division formula. So it's become, so relative error in G will be considered is G is consist of L by t square. So relative error in G will be, delta G by G will be relative error of L whole square plus relative error of Z, delta Z by Z whole square. Now our Z is nothing but t square. So relative error in Z will be delta Z by Z will be modulus of 2, that means 2 into delta t by t. That's how we are writing here. Now we, instead of using the complicated formula, we make our life simple. So we have to think in step, that will help. Now things become messy here. Let me remove some of the stuff. So now relative error in case of delta G is coming out to be 0.004. Now we get the absolute error, we have to multiply it out by value of G, that means 979. It is coming out to be 3.916, represented by a single significant digit. We are writing it as 4. Then our calculated G will be 979 plus or minus 4 meter per second square. So now it is all about independent error. The power formula can work in case of dependent and independent error both. Or it's actually, we can say, in case of power formula, error independent dependent term does not arise, because while we are measuring the volume of a sphere from our radius measurement. In case of we have to take several data for radius, then we have to make an average. So here there we will assume it is kind of a dependent thing, but this power formula work for both dependent and independent case. Now let us discuss if error are dependent, like that means error are coming from same source. So here rule is that here error add linearly. In previous scenario, error add in quadrature, we have to square the error, and then say maybe sometime relative error get added in square quadrature, sometime absolute error get added in quadrature. Here error add in linearly. So first thing came to addition or subtraction of quantities. Like q is a quantity which is consist of addition of this term a plus b plus c, and it is also consist of subtraction of this term x, y, z. Now error in q will be delta q, absolute error will be nothing but absolute of error, absolute error of a plus absolute error of b, it will be plus sign, absolute error of x plus absolute error of y, and so on. We have to add all those absolute error. For example, we say measure the length of a long table using a 1 meter scale. So table is in total 1.7 meter. So first we measured 1 meter. Our error in our measurement, it is coming from instrument, it is 1.001 meter. Then we have a big table. We first put our meter scale, it is come up to this, we mark here, and then we put rest of the scale, and we also check if the value. So in next term it is coming 0.7, in first it is 1 meter. Now total length will be L1 plus L2. So total length is 1.7 meter. Now we have to calculate the error. We have to just simply add those error in linear. We have to just add the absolute error. We have same error is here 0.01, 0.01. So value is coming, length is coming out 1.7 plus or minus 0.002 meter. Now came to multiplication or division in case of dependent error case. So here rule is add fractional error. Like in case of independent error, we add the fractional error in quadrature. Here rule is we have to add the fractional error in just linear fashion. No square is needed. Like a quantity q is consist of multiplication of a, b, c, etc. and division of x, y, z, etc. Then the relative error of the quantity q will be relative error of a plus relative error of b plus relative error of x, relative error of y, and so on. For example, we are calculating the volume of the bar. We already see in the previous video. Say we measured the length, breadth, and height of the bar. It is coming out to be 5, 3, and 2 centimeter respectively. There is the error. There we measured it by same centimeter scale. Then volume is coming out to be 30 centimeter cube. So then relative error in the volume will be relative error of L plus relative error of breadth plus relative error of height. It is coming out to be 0.0058. Now we have to multiply it with V to get the absolute error. So it is 1.75. Let us take the one significant digit and represented it by 2 centimeter cube. So this is our calculated values of volume, 30 plus or minus 2 centimeter cube. We are going to give an example of division very soon. Now came to rising to a power relation. So we already see rising to a power relation is same previous like dependent or independent case. So it is same, multiply fractional error with a power, then add. So here we are writing in more in general, like a quantity consists of two two quantities in product, also they have power. Then just we have to simply add relative error of x. So relative error of q will be relative error of x multiplied by the power of x relative plus relative error of y multiplied by the power of. If it is only simple, q is consist of x to the power n, then it will be delta q by q will be in delta x by x. It is like previous, our dependent independent case. The formula is same here. Now came to one important part, that is a multiplication by a constant. So if you multiply a quantity by a constant, then also error get multiplied by the same constant term. So like q is consist of some constant c into x. Then error in q will be, we have to multiply your error in x by c. So they are intuitive. I am not showing any example. Now came to one example. So dimension analysis show us a fall time of an object from a height h is proportional to root over of h. Now we are going to prove, check is the dimension analysis correct or not. We are going to going to measure the fall time for an object falling from two different heights, say h1 and h2. Now we will take the ratio of h1 and h2, and first we will measure the h1 and h2, take square root and predict the ratio of t1 and t2. Then we are also going to measure t1 and t2 and check out that our dimension analysis showing us a correct result or not. So that is the idea. So we will say here step by step how to calculate error, what to take dependent error, what to take independent error, and so on. First came to length measurement. In case of a length measurement, just we here simply use a meter scale. So our h1 is 3 meter and 3 meter, and h2 is simply 1.5 meter. Then the ratio is 2. So we use the same scale to measure the h1 and h2. We basically, in case of h1, we take 3 measurement like 1 meter, 1 meter, 1 meter. In case of h2, we take half meter, and half meter instead of taking half and 1 meter. Whatever it is, as we are measuring from same scale, total error have to be same. If we take the ratio of h1 and h2, it is coming out to be 2 plus or minus 0.06. We use the normal division formula. It will be just say it will represent it by h, z, delta z by z. Now we need to calculate basically not ratio of h1 and h2. We have to calculate the square root of h1 divided by h2. In case of square root, we basically use the power relation. So things become like 0.5 h1 by h1 plus 0.5 delta h2 by h2. So this is our basically delta m by m. So let me represent it by m. So if you calculate it, the error is coming out to be 0.002. And the square root of 2 is 1.414. We are taking up to 3 significant digits because of the error. Now let's come to time measurement. The measurement is taken by the measurement is taken here by electronic system. We discuss in our lecture 1 the electromagnetic, stopwatch and electronic sensor based system to minimize the error. So we take large number of error, we measure the large number of fault time. This is our average time, this is our error. So we measure them for both. So here, while taking the division of T1 and T2, we consider her error is independent because we are using same electronic system, same watch, etc. So using division rule, we calculate the error, and this is our ratio of T1 and T2. So we already know here it is coming out. Let me put a representative bar. It is the average value. Average value is 1.417. Minimum value is, so maximum value is 1.4. Minimum value is 1.409. So this is our measured value, and our predicted value was from the measurement of H. Average was 1.414, and there was a maximum minimum 1.416, and minimum was 1.412. So this is matched within this error bar. So we can say our dimension analysis was right. The dimension analysis predicted correctly. So here is some extra example. In case of a moment, in case of kinetic energy calculation, how to calculate error in the kinetic energy, you can do it yourself. Easy. Here we use both power law and multiplication rule. Calculate it and put it in the comment section. Now the last one. So this is the famous equation to measure the displacement. If we know the initial velocity, the acceleration, and how much time a particle travel, or what is the time passed. So here the initial velocity is given with a error bar, measured time is given, and G also is given. It is assumed that G has no error. Let us take it 9.80. So this is actually equation of distance or displacement when an object thrown vertically upward with the initial velocity v0. So y is coming out to be 0.636 meter if we put all the value. Now question is, what is the error in our measurement? So one very easy way to calculate is, let us assume the first term v0t as a. So v0t has a value of 2.4 meter, and calculate the relative error. So it is in product. V and T are independent quantity, we have to remember. So we calculate the relative error. So it is error add here, relative error add here in quadrature. So this is the relative error. Now we calculate the absolute error, multiplying it by V0 into T. Now second term is, we assume half GT square as a B. It is coming out 1.76 meter. We calculate the relative error in B using just power law. G is acting like a just constant here. No error is there. So we use the power law in case of T square. So relative error of B is coming out to be 0.01. Sorry. This is the delta T by T is 0.01. We have to multiply it by 2 to get the relative error, delta B by B, and then we are multiplying it 1.76 to get the absolute error of B. Now y is basically consists of A plus B, B0 by T minus half GT square. Sorry, don't write A plus instead of write minus. Now we have to use the addition or subtraction rule. Here A and B are dependent, one depend on T and another depend on T square. We are just going to so one thing here is V0 is here. So V0 T don't depend on T square. So we have to consider A and B have independent error. We use the formula of independent error. We add the term absolute error in quadrature. So delta y is coming out 0.44 meter. Now represent it by single significant digit 0.4. So our measured quantity we can write, calculated quantity will be 0.6 plus or minus 0.4 meter. So this is the end of this lecture. I hope this will help you to calculate the error in most of the laboratory experiment. So if you like the video, please subscribe, share, and also you can